Okay, welcome back everybody. This is Phil TV, HotButUnknown.com, and of course I'm Phil Davis. Today we have here a man Don Bangah from Georgetown, South Carolina, and fortunately through the internet I've been able to follow this guy over some years now, and I ran across him again and realized that he has found a crossroad in his life and made some changes, and I thought that he would be a good example for people his age and even some people older than he is. And we're going to discuss a little bit about, you know, the changes he went through, where he's at right now, and all that good stuff. So y'all sit back and enjoy, and we're going to get into it. Appreciate you making this happen, Don.
Thank you for giving me this interview and everything. Opportunity to tell the world and everybody, all the viewers out there, you know, the things that have been going on. And, you know, God is great. That's for one thing. I definitely got to say that, you know. And pretty much, man, I reached a point in my life where it's like, you know, you find out. See, I used to have a lot of trust in man. You know, I showed a lot of trust in man, and, you know, didn't realize that man is so deceitful, man. Like, you know, they pretty much, you can't really, you be a fool to really trust man. You gotta trust God. You gotta always put God first before anything. And through my music now, that's pretty much what I feel like I owe God something. Well, we all owe God something, but we can never repay him back what we owe him. You know, but we could just, you know, try, and the only thing we could do is just, you know, try to learn him and get closer to him. And that's what I'm doing right now. You know, I'm getting closer to him, and, you know, I'm trying to learn him, and I accept him. I accept Christ as my Savior, you know. And the music that you're going to hear right now is going to talk about that. It's going to talk about life, about like how the blessings I received, and about plenty of things, like, you know, what I'm gonna do for him and serve for him, and, you know.
Yeah, and with that said, that's good. You're on that topic right there, because the first question that I wanted to ask you was, before you actually made this change and accepted Christ in your life, what was you doing before that?
And like out there, lost, you know, had like a lot of family issues, had, like, you know, friends issues, relationship issues. You know, I was definitely in the streets. Like, I was hard, like out there in the streets, lost. Like, it was like nothing really mattered anymore. Like, nothing mattered. When you feel like you don't have love for your family, or or your family is not showing you enough love and attention or whatnot, you know, you build your own family out there. And it's like, you know, I was in a situation really where it was just that I was just trying to survive. I lived outside where, you know, the Yum Yum, people from the Georgetown area know what the Yum Yum building is all about. That's where me and my homeboy was living at. And surrounded by, like, you know, foolishness. On the long walk back home, that's the album I dropped, you know, back in '09. And I got a song when they called A Perfect Agony, and I was talking about it. And you know, pretty much, like, definitely into drugs, alcohol, you know, women, you know, club life, you know, living under the sycamore tree. In other words, just, you know, just doing a lot of stupidity, a lot of things. Me and my homeboy, and I think if I would have continued going that route, you know, I wouldn't be here right now. It's either I would have been dead, or I would have definitely been in jail. And a lot of my friends, they in and out of prison, you know, they like, what, a lot of them older than me, you see what I'm saying? And being that I'm 26, you know, God blessed me to see 26. I mean, personally, I feel like that's the age when you're 25, you already know what time it is. Like, it's something about you got to change, you know. And And pretty much like when I turned 25, you know, I experienced a lot more things. I seen life for really what it was and what it is. You notice like a lot of people is fake, you know what I mean? And they're not really who they say they are. You know, a lot of friends, they turn on you. People leave you left and right, you know, set you up with things. And you just realize, man, well, you got the feeling that you in this world, you on this earth alone. You know, you by yourself. But truthfully, you know, in the physical form, yeah, you is on this earth alone by yourself. Because people, they come and they go, but God, he's forever. You know, he's here forever. You leave God. You know what I mean? Like, God don't never leave you. Because even throughout the streets, when I was in the streets, plenty of times, I could have been dead or I could have been locked up. But then I remember one night coming from Andrews, you know, I never forget, this was like July the 4th last year. I had 2 pistols on me. I had a box full of bullets right there in my armrest, under my armrest and everything. And, you know, I was coming back from this girl house, girl who I used to talk to. And, you know, everybody was drinking. I did a little bit of drinking. And I was kind of like, you know, I wasn't drunk, but I was slightly, you know, intoxicated, just slightly. And I was coming back from Andrews, and I was kind of like swerving on the road a little bit. You know, police that stopped me. You know what I mean? I didn't have no license on me or no registration for my car. You see what I'm saying? And it's like when he pulled me over, you know, he said that, you know, the reason for me stopping you is because you was on the other side of the road, like you driving 2 lanes. So what he did, I told him, I said, you know what, hey, officer, I was just looking back and everything, you know, a CD dropped in the back, and I picked the CD up. That's all. I really didn't know. I handled it. I didn't, you know, get upset with him aggressively because I probably was driving 2 sides, you know. And then he said that I wasn't driving like, you know, the whole time like 2 sides. He said I kind of like went to the other side of the road, and I kind of came back. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't get aggressively foul with him or nothing. I kept my composure. You know, I said, officer, I didn't know. And I said I had gotten an accident like before that and everything, and I didn't have my registration on me because I got a rental and I lost my registration, but I did have proof that this is my car, and I had proof that, you know, I got my license, but even though it's not on me, I got a license. So, you know, the officer, he was kind of lenient. He was like one of the police, like, you know, that pull you over, and, you know, they want to feel like they want to feel, you know, take you to jail for whatever reason. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, he was kind of lenient. He didn't even really give me a ticket. He gave me a warning. You see what I'm saying? He gave me a warning. He didn't check my car, nothing. Lord knows, like, if he would have, you know, if I would have got tested for, you know, what, DUI, I would have got tested for, like, you know, saying I was driving under the influence. He would have made me get out the car, and then probably would have called another officer over or whatnot, and they would have had like a search. They would have searched my car and everything. If they would have searched my car, look what they would have found. They would have found 2 pistols and a box full of bullets. You know, then I would be going down.
You was pretty fortunate that night then. So is this the actual incident that made you change?
No.
What actually brought you to your crossroads and you decided that this is it, I need to change directions right now?
It was just so many things building up. Like, that right there, I overlooked that. I didn't even look at that right there like, you know, it's time for me to change. It was more like I just took advantage of these things, like the opportunity, even when my hood fly up on my windshield and I couldn't see and I swerved off the road. You know, I could have been dead right then. You know, just another incident. But it's not like, you know, I wasn't thinking that, you know, God has put me in these situations to try to bring me closer to Him. It was more like, you know, hey, you know, I ain't died or nothing. So I mean, I'm fortunate, I'm good, you know. But it just, things kept building, you know, even like, you know, relationship issues, like, you know, when you live in a fake life, and I'm not talking about a fake life like you fake, you see what I'm saying? Like, you're not being real, but what I mean by that is like the life that all of us live is not really for us, really. You know what I mean? Because when we born in this world, we babies. You know, we innocent creatures, man. It's like the stuff that we go through, it causes us to become who we are. And it's like situations where, like, you know, the flashy life, you know, going to clubs, meeting chicks, dressing certain ways, you know, women who look at you because maybe it's like, you know, you are a possible baller or whatever. You're a baller. You see what I'm saying? They're not really for you. They for whatever they see, what they can get from you. And not even just women, but guys too, like homies. Dudes that think that you over there thinking that that's your homeboy. He ain't really not your homeboy. You know what I'm saying? You know, he trying to see what he could get off of you. You know, everybody's trying to feed off a person. Like when you live in that type of life, everybody want to feed off of that person. They want to get something from you. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, that's not real. That's a fake life. That's what you call a fake life right there. So you attract fake people because you're not being real with yourself. You know? So of course, you're not going to attract real people. You're going to attract fake people. You know, and I'm not saying everybody in my life was fake, but I'm just saying, like, majority of it, you know, the people who I really love, like, you know what I mean, I had really feelings for, yeah, they turned on me, they left me, they crossed me, and, you know, I found out the only person I could live in this world for is Phineas, you know, and that's, you know, that's the only person I could live for in this world for, because I was for the people, man. I was out there, anything a person want me to do, I would do it, just to prove my loyalty. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, I always wanted to be the type of guy, like, you know, when I leave this earth, not one person on this earth could even look back and say, you know, yeah, Don P, that was a trifling brother. Oh, Don P, yo, that was a dude that, he was shiesty, man. He was like really shiesty. No, nobody could really, no real person could ever say that. I was always a good person. I always try to overdo things for the next person. You see what I'm saying? I put people before I put myself. Like, you know, it was times that I gave people money, you see what I'm saying, and, you know, to eat. And it's like, I didn't have money to give to nobody, but I mean, yeah, you know, here's 20. Here's, you know what I mean? Like money like that right there. And it's like, you know, I don't really got money like that. Then at the end of the day, it's like, what I'm going to eat? Did they do it in return for me? No. You see what I'm saying? Let people drive my car and all the other stuff, and you know what I mean, it's just that I was just too much for the people. You know, I was serving them instead of serving God. You know, and people out there, and when you like that, you know, it could be a gift and a curse. You know, like, you know.
So speaking of that, with you serving them instead of serving God, how was the reaction of those people when you actually came to the point and it was like, you really didn't have to say it to them, but you had to make it up within yourself. You had to say, okay, this got to stop. I got to stop doing this because these people are taking advantage of me. They're not appreciating. They really don't understand. They don't comprehend the big picture and what I am trying to pursue as far as all of us as one. So when you decided to go within and you turned to God,
so
how did they react? What was their response?
Well, you know, they say, like, that's a good way to determine who's real and who's fake, because real people, they gonna stick beside you. They not gonna forget about the things that you did for them. They not gonna forget about that, because at the end of the day, they know the truth. You know the truth. God know the truth. You know what I mean? And the people who was there to witness that, they know the truth. And it's like, you know, the people, I don't know, I guess I was just a fun character, because like right now I see people look down on me. They're like, yo, you know, he all for self now. I mean, but I'm not all for self, man. It's like, honestly, I'm doing a spiritual change for myself, but at the end of the day, I'm actually doing it to help others too. I'm trying to be an example. Like, that's what I am right now, and a straight example of people out there who know me, that remember this face, they know me. Like, I mean, don't front, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I just want people out there, I want people to be happy with their lives, and I just want to bring them closer, because I feel like getting to learn God and knowing who He is I think that's the best feeling you could get in this world. That's the best feeling because it's a lot of blessings you will receive. Trust me.
And I like to add to that too. So in reality, you are still serving them on a spiritual level that they still do not understand.
And
Now they see you as being all for self, and they don't realize that you are being still all for all as one.
Exactly. Loyalty. Loyalty.
You've been a light, and now you're even a brighter light. And plenty of those, some of those people, I would think, some of them saw that and they still see it, and some of them are still clueless to the fact. And in my opinion, I see you're still doing the correct thing. So why do you think so many people out there, be it street life or just normal everyday living, refuse to make changes in their lives?
Being trapped. That's what the whole situation is. That at one point, like I said, I seen myself that way right there. Being in the streets, being among a group of people that they really don't care about life. They don't really care about nothing. It's like, not saying that you a follower, but it's like to a certain extent everybody's a follower. That's just life. That's just keeping it real. Like whether you in an environment where a bunch of guys who you grew up around and you decide to chill with, they sell drugs, more likely you're gonna sell drugs. And or if you a person going to church every Sunday and you're around people who's church goers, more likely you're gonna go to church. I feel like people who be in the streets rather than they want to try to change their life around, I feel like they just feel like maybe it's somebody out there, it might not be their time. That's another reason. Because God, he put us in a situation where it's like, it's either he trying to bring us to him, or if we already to him, he trying to test our faith. He trying to see like how strong our faith is. And that's what the whole thing is about. But for the person that's living the street life and they not really looking to change their life over, I just say like, that time will come and you will know when it's the right time to change your life over. You will know because you could feel it, and God will send you on a mission. He whisper words to you, and you will be, trust me, you will be eager to do those. Whatever mission he sent you on, you will be able to try to, prosper and make changes. But it will be a time coming in your life because all good things have an ending. The end is near. All good things, man.
Okay, with that said, do you think that deep down every person has this voice or this urge or this feeling within themselves to do right, but due to their circumstances, they still fall victim and become trapped? If you do feel like everyone has that deep down burning within, what kind of advice would you give them in order to begin to come out of that?
The strength for just being strong and having the courage to like just say, you know what, I had enough. You know what I mean? Like, or just ask yourself, like, is it worth it? You feel me? Like, you gotta really ask yourself, like, is it worth it? Like, the life you living right now, is it worth it? Think about like, and I will more like right now. This our motto. We always say this right here. This is what kills really the young generation. We always come up like this. We always say, why think about 10 years from now? Life ain't promised. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, when you think negative like that, I mean, it's true. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you just living for today. I mean, it's like, why not think about like tomorrow? You know what I mean? Just think about tomorrow. Like, people living for the minute, the moment. That's how I was living. You know what I mean? Like, please, like the club nights, going to clubs, doing things and stuff. I wasn't really focused on the next day. But now I'm focused on the next day. I'm thinking about tomorrow and everything. And by me saying that is just saying that it's gonna come a day like, you know, you gonna have a midnight crisis. You're gonna see yourself in a situation. You're gonna be like, yo, is this life? This everything? Just like Scarface, man, like on the movie. You know what I mean? Like Scarface, he said it himself. He said, this is it. This is what I work for. You know what I'm saying? That you yourself gonna come up with that same thing. Like you gonna ask yourself like, this is it. This is life. This is who I became. You know, it's gonna be a time when that's coming to you, and you're gonna feel the same way. And when you do feel that way, that's when actually God is He's shining. He's actually like shining, and it's like that was really gonna bring you closer to Him. You're gonna be like, you're gonna want to change. Cause I feel like deep inside, no matter what situation you in, I think everybody deep inside of them, they do got a spark where it's like they want to change. There's something about their life they want to change. But at the end of the day, it's like they're afraid to because they don't have the courage. That's what it's about. It's about courage and wisdom.
Yeah, exactly. That's well said. And so it basically is the mentality, what's deep down inside, and ultimately, what is that choice that you made that day that is going to determine where you're going to be at the next day. And like you said, so much of the young generation, they live that day by day mentality. They got a negative view on the world and their situation, not realizing that staying in that mentality is what's making their world worse. And speaking of that, I would like to say on the music tip, because you used to do, well, you did street rap, now you're doing gospel rap. And as far as the rap go, with the same thought that we just got through speaking about, and we was talking about this before we left the studio too. When guys get in the studio and they spit this negativity, be it whatever it is that they're spitting, they're focusing themselves in a line for their destination over a period of time. And I was saying, I feel like artists need to start becoming more conscious and realize that what they're spitting could be their reality today, but they needed to spit a solution in that reality. And how do you feel about that? And what would you tell an artist that's trying to hold on to that swagger or that thug look because they don't want to make the change and they're afraid of looking soft?
I say, for one, I'd be like, you know, be you. You see what I'm saying? Like, whoever you is, man, like this, that's what the studio's for. It's like, you know, music is art. That's a form of art. I look at it like this: when I'm writing rhymes down, I'm painting a picture. You know, whether it's the life that I'm living right now, or I done lived that life and I could talk about it and I could, you know, teach somebody out there and I could reach them. Me and them both could relate. When you can relate with somebody, then that means like your music is pretty good. Like, you know, you should feel good about yourself. But like when you're on the tip, like, you know, I noticed there's a lot, you know, a lot of people, they go in the studio, you know, I guess they like that type of swag, that gangster look. You know, they got their mask on, not really being who they is, like staying true to themselves. But and they trying to live a life that's not even really for them. Honestly, I don't think that life is for anybody. Like I said before, it's not for you. Like that's a fake life. You know, honestly, it is. And I feel like one thing about music, what makes music good, and well, on my situation, where like me and my homeboy and them, that's the life I was living at the time. So I feel like it was no other way. Like I was just expressing myself like through the art. Like, you know, I feel if I had a messed up day and I just got a bunch of hatred, you know, towards something, I'm gonna express it. You know, I'm not gonna make a love song when I don't feel love in my heart. I'm not gonna make a love song about a female if I don't experience love from a female. That's acting. You see what I'm saying? But I guess the reason why like my music it sounds different, and you know I prefer to do gospel, hip hop, and conscious rap is because like my life, what I'm living right now is conscious, man. I go to church every Sunday. You see what I'm saying? Convert meeting classes I was taking. I'm reading the Bible. I'm getting to know God. You know, I feel like I got a purpose to serve. At one point, you know, I stopped doing music, period. You know, and I just fell back, and I was like, you know, every day, you know, I was going through a situation, you know, at the beginning of this year, and I just fell back from music, and you know, instead of me, you know, giving it to God, I used to give it to like, you know, Money Saver. Used to go to Money Saver and buy me, you know, Mad Dog 2020, King Kroger, you know, OE, you know what I mean, like stuff like that. Used to just drink it away really, and roll up. I mean, so
hold that thought right there. I'm glad that you mentioned that. And to set it straight, I relate to everything that you're saying. Been there, done that, and I know it's true, and I know what's happening with you is the real thing. So when you go back to where you say you go to the store, you get your drinks, roll up, boom, get wasted. After all that's said and done, from my experience, and I'm pretty sure you can agree, you still, when you get to a point with that, it's almost like when you look at it, what's the purpose? What's the reason behind that?
Was it worth it?
Exactly.
You know, because
how would you try? How would you explain to somebody, or what would your advice be to somebody that feels bad after doing all that drinking and smoking and whatever habit they have, and they want to try to pull out of that, but the essence or the addiction of the consumption of that stuff has them pulled in so hard to it. How can somebody begin to try to get out of that, in your point perspective?
That's deep. I think like, well, you know, what got me out of it, I could just look at it like this and say, the problem is always still there, whether you drunk or sober. You know, the problem is always there. Like, I learned, you know what I mean, like drinking, you know, I used to use it for a lot of things, you know, fornication, you know, going to clubs, you know, feeling loose, so I could feel loose, you know, even doing music. I don't think, honestly, you know, no music I ever did, like no recording except for You Need Jesus. I've never recorded music without being drunk or high. And that's the truth. I had never recorded no song when I was sober. And I remember times when I used to get taken out the club. My homeboys, they used to, you know, carry me out the club because I was so drunk. I was done. But you know what? Like after that, you feel bad. You know what I mean? You messed up, and you just destroying your health. I mean, I done had an ulcer and all that, peptic acid disease, and look what that done. You know, like all them nights drinking is really, all I can say is really just think about tomorrow, man. Think about the future. Think about the next day, and just look at it like this right here. It just makes your days worse, your nights worse. It don't solve no problem. It's still there. And in fact, when you coming down, when you sobering up, that's when you really feel it. You see what I'm saying? You really feel it again. You know?
Yeah, you feel even worse.
Yeah, 10 times worse, yeah. Man. I remember plenty of mornings, man, like coming from Mayo's or Ice's or Miss or Exceptions, whatever the club I used to go to, and it's like, you know, the next morning, you know, I feel depressed, because actually alcohol draws depression to your life. It honestly do. You know, drinking your life away, you start to look old, your skin starting to transform, you know, like you got wrinkles under your eyes, your lips look wrinkly and black because all the times you roll up smoking weed, you can't really play ball with your boys no more. You young, you can't run with them because all the years you spent smoking. You know, I used to smoke cigars. When I go to the club, I used to have a big Tomako cigar or a game cigar or a blunt cigar and used to, you know, smoke it. I thought it was cool. You know, had the little long hair looking like a Don or whatnot. But like I said before,
we gotta wrap it up in a minute. We got a few minutes, but go ahead.
But that life right there, it wasn't for me. I don't think it's for anybody. It's not. You know, like in life, man, if you can't do nothing positive with yourself or with others, what's the purpose? Because, I mean, we all got choices, man. Like, it don't matter where you come from. You got a choice, you know. It even got to a point where I got with my homeboys and I was involved with situations I shouldn't have been involved with. But, you know, that was just anger. You know, I did things out of anger. And I learned from it, you know. That's all I can say right there.
All right, tell us a little bit about the body of Christ.
The body of Christ. The body of Christ is pretty much saying church, you know, because this CD I'm doing, this new album, The Body of Christ, which be coming out soon. It's gonna be a lot of knowledge and just a lot, you know, and that it's going to be reaching people. You know, hopefully a lot of people will be able to relate to a lot of situations, and it's going to cause you to, you know, go to church and you're saved and just, you know, turn your life around.
So is this album is going to be a solo album, or it's going to be a collab with people?
This I got somebody on you know, of course, Loyalty Nation, you know, throw the mails up, and, you know, Twisted Mind definitely going to have some people. I'm definitely going to have some people up on it, you know, featuring, you know, definitely looking for Chaos, you know, J Lyrics, Selfs, what up? And you know, just the whole Loyalty Nation, you know, everybody, and it's gonna be big, you know, and it's pretty much like, you know, like I say, like, you know, the body of Christ is the believers, man. Like, you know, a whole group of individual, you know, coming together that's believers, and definitely, you know, it's something to definitely, you know, buy, support, you know, and listen to and learn from it.
All right, and that album is going to be, they can find that through you on Facebook also, right?
Facebook, SoundClick, Dat Piff, even Big Kev Studio, and also in Radio Shack too. And y'all go ahead cop my homeboy Chaos album. It's in Radio Shack too.
All right, cool. We're pretty much on time. We got a couple of minutes. We got to keep it within 30 minutes. Do you have any of your new music out there online anywhere where people can go and listen to you, download it or whatever?
Most definitely.
Like to share that.
For all of those who be on Facebook, definitely hit me up on Facebook, Don Bangah, DonBangah, and you could go ahead and listen to my new single called "You Need Jesus," and trust me, that joint is banging. You know, it's just like the name. That joint, it is really a banger right there, and it's a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom and understanding, and definitely just it's under my link. So www.soundcloud.com is soon to be on just about every like, you know, music, you know, website. Yeah. And also I got, like, you know, for those, you know, want to listen to my old material, I got, like, on datpiff.com, you know, just type in Don Bangah, got my albums there, so definitely, you know, show love.
Alright, cool. So we're gonna wrap it up, and to sum up this guy right here, his message is, it's time to change your thoughts. Your thoughts are becoming your actions. If you're gonna stay in one frame of mind, living day by day, and not trying to look further or outside of the box, you're gonna continue to get the same results. So all you rappers out there spitting that negativity, the gang violence and all that stuff, we understand that's where you at. But it's time now for a solution. And it boils down to what you're thinking right now. You gotta think and make that change yourself. This is my man Don Bangah, Phil TV, hotbutunknown.com.
Boy, easy.
You need Jesus. You need Jesus. You gon' be the same way. I want somebody to tell it. You need Jesus. I'm getting ready to have a coming out party. God is getting ready to send somebody.
Hey yo, put your hands up if Christ you believe in. I came to represent, so them hands let me see them. Get out your seat and just praise him. If he's blessed with 2 arms, please raise them. Get them there, wave them side to side.